watching most closely tonight's game is James Cook. I've talked about him at least a couple times on the podcast this season. He's on pace to becoming a unicorn in the NFL among running backs. It is very unusual for a low volume college running back to become an impact fantasy player in the NFL. Very unusual. And I have data, as some of you know, that goes back, I think it goes back now to 1997. So I kept pushing it back a year. So I wanted to really see how much data I could put together. There's some college stats that are really hard to find. You have to dig pretty hard, especially if they don't go to a major program. Or if they transfer from a community college to a major program. I've got to be able to track all that data and figure it out. It's easier for for today's NFL players. A lot of that data is readily available. James Cook had just under 300 touches for his college career. That is incredibly low for a starting NFL running back. It is very rare for that to be the case, especially a starting running back who returns and keeps the job. Right? You get the one-offs like the Peyton Hills of the world, but they usually don't stay at the top of the depth chart. The most touches Cook had in college was his final year, his senior year. He had 140. 2023 and 2024 combined, he had over 600 touches. And I thought this season I kind of ranked him neutrally. I thought he would be fine, but I was concerned. And I didn't think he'd be as good as he has been. Very honestly, I missed on that. I thought that we'd start to see some regression. His older brother, Dalvin Cook, his final great year was age 27, and then he completely fell off. It was unexpected that you have a guy who's a perennial top 5, running back draft pick, suddenly, after his age 27 season, irrelevant. James Cook is 26. It's kind of apples and oranges because brothers don't always play the same. But Dalvin Cook had a bigger, more robust college career. He had a fairly robust NFL career for what it was, 5, 6, great seasons. And then that was it. Cook is on pace right now for 345 touches, which would be his all-time high in the NFL. It's a scary number for someone who's never had more than 140 in college. Granted, these last 2 seasons, like I said, he had over 600 combined. He's built up towards it, but I think it increases the odds that there's going to be a major fall off well before he should be at the end of his career. If the Bills make the playoffs, and it looks like if they win tonight, they'll be certainly in the driver's seat for that. If not winning the AFC East, at the very least getting a wild card spot. But getting that wild card spot and having no chance, presumably, or little chance at the number 1 overall seed and getting a bye means that the Bills might have to win 3 games to get to the Super Bowl. I think they have a pretty good chance of winning at least 1. That means they would play 2 games. And if James Cook is on pace for 345 touches and he gets about 20 touches a game in 2 playoff games, he's close to 400. That 3rd game might put him over 400. That is a particularly scary number. And it would cause me, even at 385, it would cause me to say, that's it. I'm off the James Cook train for 2026. Y'all can have him. I'm not taking a chance on that kind of volume, that kind of usage. He had, I think it was 19 touches on Sunday. It's a little bit of a concern, not too much of a concern. One concern is that while he had a lot of receptions this past Sunday, he's had several games recently where he hasn't had any catches. That is concerning. 2 losses that he had 0 catches. You would want to see someone like him have that higher floor. He also hasn't run very efficiently in the last 3 weeks. That's been a modest concern. Maybe it's an outlier, but Houston's giving up the 3rd fewest rushing yards per carry. Their defense is for real. So there is some concern that James Cook might not have an outstanding performance tonight. Obviously, you can't bench him, even in a shallow league. He's a must start. I'm not saying you do that. I am saying that he is on track for kind of a scary touch total for someone with his reduced college touch history. Those who have had very few college touches, like I said, like the Peyton Hills, like Kenyon Drake, will have kind of the 1 big season or 2 big seasons or something like that, and that's it. If you have James Cook in Dynasty, just be aware that next year's his age 27 season, and that I believe that his career is going to end sooner than most people do. It is sad but true, because if it doesn't end soon, he would be the ultimate unicorn. He would surpass Kenyon Drake as the most successful low-touch college running back in fantasy history. I'm BJ Riddell, Fantasy Football for Winners. Follow me on the blog. Email me anytime. We'll see you tomorrow.